Hello, you. Yes, you. This is Usayome Sale from Ways Primetime. Now, we appreciate your continued support for watching our content, following us across all our social media. But we've noticed, for those of you watching us on YouTube, 88.5% of you who watch our content aren't subscribed to our channel. Why? Now, if you are enjoying our content, you enjoy our shows, and you want to stay updated on all things Ways, it's time to hit that subscribe button below. Now, subscribing isn't just for you. It's for the growth of our channel. It helps us get bigger and better. With your support, we can continue to bring even more intriguing and exciting content. How about you subscribing right now and being a part of our community?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not pretend it's not a great morning for me, and my week hasn't been the best, especially with the things happening in the news. Well, this is where I welcome you to Ways Breakfast, hashtag what are you saying? And today, more than ever, I want to hear what you are saying, your thoughts and everything put out together. On this show, we talk the good, the bad, the ugly, and one thing's for sure, we speak nothing but the truth. I am Okikiola Taiwo Jalukmo, your anchor for today, and this morning I'm sharing the table with my darling lady here. You already know who it is. That's God's Beauty Israel. Good morning, baby girl.
Good morning. How
So
are you?
I've shared my honest feelings this
Right.
morning because I feel that it's not every day that there's an excitement that it should be buried there, or there should be sometimes where we should pretend like everything is going well. And with the
Yeah.
topic for today, it's almost like there's nothing to be happy about. There's
Sure.
nothing to be happy for or joyous for. So how do you feel this morning, especially when you thought about the topic that we had for today?
I would say I feel no, I don't know. Okay, since I mean I'm not happy, so I think I'm just like in between. Let me just say I'm just there, right? Because probably I'm struggling to know exactly how to feel. Do you get what I'm saying? Given that I mean we are in a country where we are actually grown by culture, right? And for everything that we do, there's always this, oh, this is the culture, this is how
This
we
was
do
the
things.
roots.
Exactly. So, I mean, speaking to the topic now, it's one thing to say that all of these things all of these things happening, the rituals and all of that is happening because of, you know, this is something that's already in our culture. I mean, we have like the Ogun back then where you say if you do something, thunder will strike you.
Yeah.
And there's already that belief system. Do you get what I'm saying? Even though some people that are probably educated now will not tell you, oh, those things are just me. Those things that probably superstitions. But I think that's why we are having this conversation today, so that we'll be able to even know where to balance it. Because we cannot tell one Baba that he should not continue doing his own thing. It's just
It's
like,
almost generally saying that I don't think that there's ever going to be a balance somewhere,
that's the
because
problem.
the world is becoming such a toxic place for certain groups to live in that
Yeah.
it now feels like we we were never wanted in the first place. You know that kind of thing when they said that they took you out of the bone of Adam and you are just
Rib.
like the rib, yes,
Yes.
and just like you're just like second fiddle. Some would define it as that. Some would define it as how God proves his own mightiness or all
Yes.
of that stuff. But today is, to be honest, I cannot say that I am feeling great and I'm allowed to express myself, because I'm sure that by the time we start this conversation, you also know that there's nothing to be,
It's
great
great for.
about. But if you're tuning in for the first time, this is how we do it on Wakes Breakfast. Not all days have rosy cheeks and smiley faces. Some issues deserve them. Well, as I mentioned earlier, you are the main ingredient in these conversations. Thursdays are usually about trending social issues, and today is one disturbing and alarming issues. Our phone lines are open for you. Please call us on 0702 500 7749 or 0701 424-2420. If you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV, click that subscribe button now, like and share the link. Tune in to channel 145 on your GoTV and do not miss this. We'll go on a break right now, and when we return, we'll take you through the top stories making headline across the globe. Please stay with us. Welcome back to the show. Now let us take a look at what's making the headlines today. Today we'll be highlighting the top stories from the pages of the Punch newspaper, the International Guardian, and of course the National Guardian. I'm going to start off with the National Guardian this morning, and the headline reads, Council Autonomy Funding. AGF, EFCC talk tough, caution government and local government bosses on treason and fraud. On the right-hand side, we have Ohaneze. I think that's on the left-hand side, pardon me. We have Ohaneze Asaga of Asaba, Wogu orders Mon Clark Adebanjo. Below that, we have Nigeria secures 1.6 billion AI investment from Microsoft. Below that, we also have Akpabio meets Tinubu as Senate summons intelligence chiefs over USA terrorism claims. On the right-hand side of that story, we have Don't Let Oshun Descend into Chaos. Speaker Olajeng Besi tells Tinubu APC. Below that, we have Lagos Assembly denies mass defection rumors. And the last story below the headline says, Federal government bans 60,000 litre petrol tankers as accident claims 3,500 lives. Above the mass, we have visa denials. Nigeria won't brook disrespect from any country, says DHQ. And the last story here says, federal government slams Binance with fresh 81.5 billion naira suit over economic sabotage. Let me quickly talk about this investment from Microsoft. It's a good one, but I strongly feel that Nigeria has to look into their implementation process of basically anything at all. Because one thing is very common, and it's the mismanagement of funds that always happens when there's an investment from an international body or organization looking into Nigeria. Sometimes they pose the header and say they invested this amount, but most of the time that's all we always hear of, that investment. Now, looking at the full story, I didn't get so much of it, but I'm wondering what kind of joint venture Microsoft is going to be having with Nigeria to bring in AI intelligence, which we already have in most of our phones, but I guess it's for the good of Nigeria, and so I'm hoping that works out for them. Also, this USA terrorism claims over the weekend, even into this week, has been something that I'm reading everything and anything that concerns US aid. When people can, confidently come and say that, I think David Udenyi also said it, that he's saying it now that the United States is sponsoring Boko Haram. They are the major sponsors of Boko Haram. And there were even some I think what's that called? There's some articles that they were also published where they mentioned that they'll find, that's witnesses said that they'll see cases where there's planes coming in from white men. They're bringing guns, bringing this, bringing that into the country. So how is the United States actually reacting to be able to say that I point at you, you're the one that is sponsoring terrorism in this certain country for these so reasons? And there's so many evidence, articles, witnesses with that. If this is really happening, I think that this is the point where Nigeria has to take the stand that the aid is not aiding anymore. It's now that you are causing more harm than good. And Mr. Menace also mentioned it when we had him on Monday, saying that Nigeria is surrounded by enemies, and so therefore this one can come in and plant their own terrorist group and say, yes, we are this, we came from here. So in reality, US aid has to come out and give us their own claims too, that they have nothing to do with Boko Haram and the fact that we have been trying to eradicate this terrorist group for the past 20 years. That's honestly, all I have to say on the Guardian newspaper.
This story is a very dicey one because, I mean, there's so many angles to it. I was watching Aisha Yusufu, it was yesterday or so. She was, it was the day before yesterday where she was at one of the TV stations. And she was saying that, oh, it has nothing to do with it. She was even more focused on, you know, the fact that he was Goodluck was the president at that time and he did not do anything. Why Goodluck? We saw the video where Goodluck was saying that, oh, it's the interference of Obama. That's the reason why he did not do very well too as the president. So you see, there's just a whole lot to these things. Goodluck saying his own, and him. I'm not sure there's any recent conversation now about Goodluck with the whole Boko Haram thing. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's just old clips about him saying that, oh, it's the interference of Boko Haram. That's why, you know, certain things didn't go as planned, probably for his presidency and all of that. And you know, there was already this former notion of it was Buhari that instigated the whole Boko Haram thing. I don't know if you knew about that.
No,
but like
they were even saying
from
that
beginning when the whole thing started,
reduced because of Buhari, just the same way they were spreading the rumors that Niger Delta militants and those attacks reduced because of Jonathan. So there's just
a lot.
I agree with you that you say it's very dicey.
All right, straight into the International Guardian newspaper. But the main headline I see here, Trump deepens rift with Ukraine by labeling Zelensky a dictator. Trump left headline we have, I want to make the world a bit more magic, and this is said by David Gorman. Top right headline, an astonishing amount of fun. Day Nero's TV debut in 0 day. Bottom left headline, that's the sports section. We have Raducanu okay after Dubai security scare. Right side headline, that's the last headline, it's a political section. We have the Liberal left out of step with rest of Britain. So the one I want to quickly talk on says, I want to make the world a bit of magic, and that's said by David Gorman. So comedian and writer Dave Gorman shares his perspective on bringing joy and wonder into everyday life, emphasizing humor and creativity as tools for making the world a bit more magical. Now, in a world often dominated by stress and negativity, heavy on negativity, Gorman's approach highlights the importance of finding lightheartedness and curiosity in our daily experiences. His work encourages people to see the world through a more playful and optimistic lens. While entertainment and humor can uplift, there is a risk that people may overlook deeper societal issues and, you know, as a way of avoiding real-world problems. So finding a balance between joy and awareness is crucial. I actually, you know, kind of agree. And that's why I'm actually taking this, because I feel like most of the times you don't actually get like that breather that we need. Do you get what I'm saying? This is me telling you now that if you know you're stressed, if you're worked, you're tired, you're feeling a certain way, if you think it's that break that you need, I think you should go for it,
so
honestly speaking.
I've observed about the Guardian newspaper, the International Guardian.
Yeah.
They have a subtle way of even sharing bad news.
Yes.
And then they have this highlighted way of sharing good news. So it brings me to think that when Dennis was mentioning that thing about us not spreading bad news on the headlines, it sort of gives the International Guardian that energy to want to read it just because there's bad news there, but it's just very subtle.
Very subtle, yeah.
Like when Trump was calling Zelensky a dictator, I'm wondering, this was somebody that came from nothing to president all of a sudden. He came like a civilian, was just like a random guy. I think he was a comedian, from comedian to president. And how can you now tag such a person dictator when the actual
Dictator
my
is
own
actually
definition
you.
of a dictator is you and your fellow
I mean,
person, Putin. So I'm very surprised how you are calling someone like Zelensky a dictator when Putin is right there. His face speaks dictatorship.
ship, like, I mean.
Well, that's it on the Guardian, International Guardian. I will quickly take us through the Punch newspaper quickly also. Again, US aid Boko Haram controversy, says the headlines. Nigerian may miss $603 million funds. Senate summons service chiefs. Bono asks federal government to lead probe. US aid 2025 budget targets defense, health, and others. This is speaking. Let's not miss this because of the money, but I would just keep that. Zamfara explosion. Ex-governor Yari pays hospital bills as NEMA visits victims. Below that, we have Lagos Assembly. Obasa denies stockpiling arms. Miranda refutes resignation claim. Beside that, we have policeman complainant arrested over newlyweds' death in custody. Another story here reads, local government autonomy. CBN 774 chairman differ over council's account opening. Another money issue. Well, above the mast, we have Dangote NNPCL refineries not supplying 50% local fuel demand, says federal government. Beside that, we have CBN probes 19.7 million dormant bank accounts. Another story here says, again, CDS defends handling of Canadian visa application, says the visa office. The last story here reads, federal government demands 81 billion from Binance for alleged tax evasion. What do we talk about? I'm always overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I'm always overwhelmed with the Nigerian newspaper, and that's because maybe because of clickbait and all of that thing.
Yeah.
There's always this 90% bad news, 10% good news. And looking at this now, I cannot even find anything good on the headlines of the Punch newspaper.
The Zamfara stuff.
The Zamfara explosion is such a sad one. I can see on the headlines here pictures of people with second, third degree burns, which is very sad. To quickly maybe touch on the Lagos State Assembly issue that happened to this week, where Our Excellency was Speaker of the Lagos Assembly, was being stopped from entering our office by the DSS. And then we had so many crowds saying, Madam Speaker, and I was like, why are you stopping her? What's the allegation for? Before she became Speaker, if you had anything on her, you should have investigated her. I'm not sure you should attain a certain position before certain investigations are done, because she's just, it's less than a month that she was there. So what thing? Basically, she was just they just transferred whatever document that Obasa had to her. So what is it? What is that thing that you are stopping her from entering her office for? And there were a lot of rumors with the resignation claim, where I even saw and even shared mistakenly, because it looked so legit that she was, resigning. I was very sad, and I had to put that on my Instagram post that sometimes, while I agree, I don't know what she's going through.
Yeah.
I think women should not easily give up when it comes to issues like this, because if he's a man, he will say, we pin here. You understand? So I would really like that going forward, while this, she has refuted the resignation claim, I think that women should also have that mindset that
resilient.
For whatever it is, that whatever come what may, the fact that I've gotten to that position, I will do it well. And whatever thing that's going to frustrate me from leaving that position, I will not allow it, because these people do it. As I said, this morning is not the best morning. But yes, that's all we have for the news today. We'll go on a break right now. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about how this whole ritual menace has become something that we are facing in Nigeria. As I said, we'll be taking your questions and comments live on our social media platforms. So be sure to join this conversation. We'll be right back after this break. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the show. Today we're tackling a critical and disturbing issue. That's the ritual menace with a focus on women as the prey. Ritual killings have become a scourge on our society, with many lives lost to the heinous crime. But what's even more disturbing is the fact that women, particularly young girls and vulnerable women, are being targeted. According to recent statistics, the number of ritual killings in Nigeria has been on the rise, with many cases going unreported. Today, we'll be discussing the root causes of these problems, the role of law enforcement and the justice system, and what can be done to protect women and girls from becoming victims. My lady here and I will be having a frank and honest discussion about this critical issue. It has become something that people are now having sleepless nights. Men are affected, women are affected, parents are affected. They have struggled to find the meaning and the reason for ritual killings. People have killed for political power, people have killed for wealth, people have killed from yahoo, all those things. People have killed for spiritual fortification and defense. And all of these things put together has always banged on the fact that women are at the vulnerable state of these things. So let me ask, what do women do? Because this is not now the fact that it's just men that are now killing other women for rituals. It's now that there's the men and women balance, that women can kill their friends for the fact that I want to become successful, I want to have some power, I want to show that yes, my standard has changed, I've been abused before. Men are also doing it from yahoo to success to power to, fortification for whatever reason. So narrowing this thing down to women, why women? If I was to ask you, God's beauty, that why women? You are a woman, so it's almost like asking you, why you?
Why me?
Why you? What's that thought that comes to your mind when you think about why women are the ones who are like the most vulnerable at this trending issue. This issue that's happening now?
I think there's already the mindset of women are very, I don't even know if it is mindset or it's something that because it looked like they already stamped it, that women are very fruitful. We all know that, so because of, and the fact that we actually are the ones bringing life into the world, maybe it would have been a different thing if men can also, even though I think there was a video of, I saw a man, was pregnant and all of that. So I really don't know how that went, but I mean, the fact that naturally we are able to, bring another life into the world. So there's just a lot about women that men, don't possess, like a lot. The way our body is wired, even how emotional we are, and all of those vulnerability tactics and all. These are things that men don't have. So I feel like probably that's one of the reasons. That's one of the many reasons why they would always say women are,
That's
women
like
should
saying
be
that's one of the reasons we are meat.
It's not
Because
meat, gone.
That's why I said that today we're going to be talking very frankly. We're not going to talk as if we're trying to advise, we're trying to be in the middle. We don't want to say too much. We should say a lot, because now we see this week we saw a cleric who said his girlfriend had asthma and that's how she died, but she was dismembered.
Oh, Lord.
So is it that when she died from asthma, you just felt like, this is meat.
Let's use it. Let's
Let's
not allow it to waste.
She died from her eyes is still good.
Oh,
and
my
then
God.
From the reports is that she's not even the first. This is like number 20.
Oh, Lord.
We also saw the story of the gospel singer who also killed this lady.
Yeah.
And then dismembered her. So there's been so many stories from back in the years up to recently, especially this week. This one is killing this one, that one is killing this one. And all we have been hearing is women, 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 women. And you already mentioned the fact that you said that women are more fruitful, women are more this, women are more that. It's like saying that women are praised.
Hey.
You understand? I'm not saying it to
No,
attack you,
I get
but
you, I get you.
I'm trying to say that it's almost like that's what people see. That
Yeah.
okay, while spiritually or back in the days they say that women are the passage to heaven.
Yes.
Everyone comes through a woman. If they give birth to a male, it's through a woman. If they give birth to a female, it's through a woman. I'm not further, it's through a woman. Everything that comes forth into earth is through a woman, and so they might have this superstitious belief that.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be using this particular gender for this purpose, maybe for fortification or for everything, it's, you know, that thing that they say the prayer go
It go
walk quick it go, or just like when they also assume that children
Yeah.
also have this kind of special, they are still innocent.
Yes.
That's why they take newborns and all these things. But to be honest, it's almost like I feel insecure. I feel like I'm not safe. I feel like even when someone claims to say, I love you, someone claims to say, I'm your brother, someone claims to say, I'm your friend, I'm still at the risk of
Are you
being
sure?
because to be honest, because you see this one that is the wife that is the husband that killed the wife for ritual because the wife has been complaining since that he's not giving him enough money.
Yeah.
And some people now say that they kill these women because they like too much, they like money too much, they squander. They said this particular cleric that killed this lady, that he claimed that she had asthma, said that people who knew him said that he squanders money. Wherever you see him, is money spending. Everywhere you see him that he's spending money. If he goes to a bar, if he goes to a party, he has a truckload of money to spend, and they never knew that this was the idea behind it. But let us even look at these things. Is it true that ritual works? We need to ask ourselves that honest question. Is it true? My audience, maybe you should help me. Is it true that ritual works? Because for it to start rising, and the fact that people are now, I believe that ritual killings is underreported. So for this thing to now start rising, where people are now getting caught after they have either dismembered a certain person, or sometimes some of them are even lucky that they are found early before the person uses them for the so-called ritual. So what I want to know first is ritual even a thing? Is it real? And from the Kanayo films, let me just say that that's the portrayal of Nollywood for us. I'm bringing different points so that we can know where we can come in from. Because if you see Nollywood movies, there's so many Kanayo doing, and I'm sorry that I'm calling Kanayo out, but now you act and pass.
But he's not the only person now. Peter Doche, you have to include him.
Act and pass. I remember, yes,
and you are
Peter
Doche. You see those three persons now, you cannot catch them.
So all these people, you guys have to tell us that, is it that you people were trying to bring a narrative that did not exist, or it was just like one piece of the things that used to happen in the past, and then it now became developed, that you now have to say that ritual killings work? Because I feel like that's another reason why there's an idea, and every time you see it is woman, or children. There's no man, really. It happens to men, but these are something that is very common amongst women and children. So I will ask again, why woman? I need to know. You people need to tell me that, why woman? Because I feel that there might be something else that we don't know about. Some people also blame it on poverty. So do you think that poverty is the major cause, or one of the major causes of why people go into ritual killings?
I would not say it's the major cause, right? But it's part of it. Poverty, I mean, that's what they'll do. That's what, at the end of the day, that's what they'll blame it as. Oh, because there's no money, you know, the economy issues, the way Nigeria is structured, there's no job, nothing is going forth. So, of course, they would, I mean, I feel like that's a cause, right? That's one of the things people look and say, you know what, as that Baba don't tell me, say, if I bring one person now, I go get money. Now, so I feel like the major cause is the fact that there's already a belief system that once you kill somebody, you can actually make money. You can actually make from it. Do you get what I'm saying? And when it comes to this whole ritual thing now, it's a very dicey one to say, oh, it's a lie or it's just superstitions. Do you get what I'm saying? The reason is because, one, culturally now, I mean, if we both agree that there was once an Amadioha and Ogun and all of
Not
those.
once, really. It still exists in a lot of communities.
So exactly. So if we believe it that things like that exist, right? For all of those things to exist, you know, they have like a spirituality. I mean, there's power to it, right? And now you should know that there are people that actually take care of these things. Back then, you hear of the chief priest. You hear of the Ndibia for the Igbo people. Do you get what I'm saying? Now, all of these people are literally like the people now converted to, I mean, you now hear the witches on one side. I think that the whole witches thing is always more from the Yoruba people. This is not like an insult. I'm telling you, like, things I've heard, things I've watched, because I'm so always very, you know, intrigued by those kind of stories, right? Now, we have like the witches. I mean, you hear the white people say they have like the white witch and all of those plenty names. Yeah. Now, the fact that there's already that belief system, and culturally in Nigeria, we already have something like a background of that. Now, like I said before, we have people that take care of these gods, right? Like that's where the chief priests, they come in. Now, all of these chief priests, right? They have like people that also inherit from them, like their sons or people that want to learn from them, and that's why we have the kind of people that we have today. I mean, that like the people now, you hear of the Baba, the Winchman, and all of those things. Like, they have so many names because they are literally like 7 different gods. Some of the water, some of the, you know. Now, when we have all of these things in place, you will now have somebody that say, oh, I need money, right? And you go meet this kind of persons. Of course, you know, back in the days, they have different ways on how to... Okay, there's something I was watching where this lady was making mention of different leaves, right? So if you want to, you know, make money off something, there's a certain kind of leaf you have to put in your mouth, more like jazz and all of those things. So the fact that we have all of these things in existence, trust me, you know, this ritual killing cannot stop. Because again, it is even above the belief system. Even though some people will tell you that the only reason why it's working is because you already believe in it. Do you understand? The reason why it's working for you is because you already believe in it. If you believe that you can kill somebody to make money, that's the only way you make money. Do you get? So since this thing is already in existence and there is already a belief system, I feel like that's a major cause. And somehow it cannot be taken out because, again, it has a cultural, you know, it's already embedded in our culture. Do you understand? Yeah, because if there's nothing like that and you're probably just living freely, then where are you going to have that mindset of having to kill somebody to make money?
To be honest, God's beauty, I think I've seen a bit of cultural display firsthand. And being a Lagosian and somebody from the royal family, it's almost like I've seen them there's something we call Isheshe Day every year. While it is optional for people who live around the community, they sort of make it a very compulsory thing for the royal family. And some of the things I've seen from afar has been things that they pour water on the head, they pour shinap, they buy palm oil, they buy all these things. I've not seen firsthand slaughtering somebody. So I don't know if it was back in the days that the slaughtering, and as civilization grew, these people who are the leaders or the watchmen of these gods now realize that you cannot kill no more like human beings. It now became that there are certain, or there's a 1% that still believes in that back in the days thing.
So this is how I see it here. When it comes to sacrifices and all of these things, it depends on what exactly you're looking for, what exactly you want.
To now, the degree.
Yes, now they are. Hey, I'm so sorry, but the kind of things I'm watching. So now, I know for sure that there are places where you will go to. And now, again, most of those people that even, you know, that do believe in these systems, right? Most of these people that we call like the chief priest and all in this modern time, most of them are actually, they consider themselves to be like the good part, where they don't do anything that has to do with killing anybody, but they can pray for you. They can do, you know, they can make certain sacrifices to like that would keep you in check and all of those things. It's just like, for example, there was somebody that you know I was watching, and this person was saying that, oh, you just need to, you know, pray to like have a cup. You have a certain kind of candles. You know, have certain kind of candles. You pray against negativity. Pray against, you know, certain kind of things. Now, in that situation, it's what you want. You're looking for probably protection. Well, you're looking for something, you know, and again, the person in question has a good heart. Now, most of those people that are into this ritual killing and all of these things are people that they necessarily do not, probably they either did not get the power from like the right source, or they are not just, you know, good persons themselves. Because I've met, I'm not met, I have listened, I have listened to, I have listened to people that they would, I mean, they will tell you that these are what they do, these are what they do, these are what their powers can, you know, do. Anything that has to do with, you know, getting money and all of this thing, they can, you know, redefine better. Exactly. They would give you, and tell you what they can do for you to, okay, or they refer you to people that they know that can do those kind of things. So again, if the person in question that you go and meet is somebody that careless, their own is, oh, you want to make money, or yeah, do this thing for you to make the money, and you do it. At the end of the day, it's on you, because then the truth is, even when you make the money, it doesn't really even turn out well, you know. So yeah, there's a lot. It is very dicey.
People of God, I hope that as soon as we go on this break, when we come back, it's going to be buzzing with your comments. I already have some on WhatsApp here, so I'm hoping that you're also sending your comments and questions on our social media platforms. We'll go on a break right now. When we come back, we'll still talk about this ritual menace and why women they inside. Thank you.
Tell us you're a Nigerian without saying a word. Energy security is one of the most pressing issues for many developing countries like Nigeria. And if there's going to be any meaningful progress, addressing our energy issues is non-negotiable.
I need to see light from my house. Make them do something.
Band A is expensive. I literally have to turn off all my appliances just to reduce costs.
We need light.
Introducing the Energy Outlook, your go-to show for everything energy. Every week, we'll bring you the latest insights, innovation, and in-depth analysis of Nigeria's energy sector. From policy discussions to regulatory insights, we'll analyze the key decisions influencing growth and sustainability in the energy sector. We'll bring you the human stories behind the headlines, giving you a personal perspective on the broader energy challenges. Join me every Friday at 6 p.m. for the Energy Outlook, your guide to the future of energy, where energy means business.
Welcome back to the show, guys. Let me state this first comment here that I have here. Blessing says, Blessing says that every day of my life, I wake up scared of meeting someone new, be it man, woman, boy, middle class, lower class, any class. Oh my God, this person is very funny. Said every day of her life, she wakes up being scared of meeting anybody just because she feels like her life is endangered by everything that surrounds her. And she also mentioned here that she feels that her body is an object of exploitation. And this brings me to my next line of thought. Looking at it, it's almost like women also have many other parts than men. Is that correct?
Yes.
We have more to protect than men. Men can lay their chest bare and then they will not use it for anything, and just down below is where they can hold there. So is that a reason for ritual killing? Because people can call it ritual killings, but now this is now organ harvesting. This is now sales of body parts. It has now moved away from ritual killings, but we now see that Nigerian news, anything that happens, they tag it as ritual killing because they feel like there must be some form of premeditation or anything that has happened for that person to have been killed. So is having many body parts or being a good source of money-making person, or I don't even know how to put it. I'm so confused.
So this is how I see it here. just as we have different, you know, I mean, everybody has like different things they want from each of these rich men or like white witches and all of that. That's the way everybody part has what it is working, I mean, what the work it will be used for.
So what is the heart used for?
I really don't know, honestly. Have you watched Superstition?
No, I haven't.
You need to go and watch that
I don't
movie.
want to watch it.
No, because again, it's also like I mean, let me make this statement. So it's just like when I was having a conversation with my mom, and she was stating that in their village back then, like even down to her father, they used to serve like a python or something of some sort, right? And like every month or so, there's this particular, like, you have to, I don't know if it's their nails or something, but there's something that you have to always give out as sacrifice every month to please the python, exactly. So every part of our body has, like, you know, a spiritual whatever that is connected to it for whatever reason you want to get. It's just like when you listen to, like, if you used to listen to all these confession shows, you will hear where somebody say that, oh, when I wanted to make my money or something through hookup, they told me to, but either, like, there was one I watched where she said that they told her to have to sleep with a goat for her to make money. So once she sleeps with a goat and goes out, any man that she sleeps with, anything that she asks the man, the money will generate, I mean, the man will give it to her. If he doesn't have, he will borrow, even down to borrowing from the bank and all. So, I mean, this is, again, it just takes back to the belief system. But another thing, again, is it can also be, I mean, flip back to, like, the physicality now. It can be that, for example, if a kidney is taken out, you already know what it is used for now. So, I mean, for you to be sold and, you know, collect, like, big amount of money. So, yeah, that's all I have to say concerning the organ harvester. There's a lot to it.
I feel that
Tell me.
Women bodies generally have a sacred meaning to it, and that's because there are different things that we go through almost every month, from ovulation to mental energy to bodies getting fatter, slimmer. So many things happen over the years for women. Even biologically, at some age, women now outgrow their male counterparts, and at some age, then the male now takes over. But it still brings me to wonder why there is still exploitation of women, and in that sense there's still ritual. It's tagged as ritual killings. You see cases where women are being taken out, you know, of the country, and they are being used for rituals or for what they call them again, for sextortion.
Oh, okay.
You see that they are being kidnapped, and they force them to reproduce because they build a nation for the terrorist group or whatever stuff. It just feels as if there's nothing to do. So now I want to ask, how can women, young girls, protect themselves from being victims of these ritual killings or any killing whatsoever that does not directly... There's nothing else I want to say. How can women and young girls protect themselves from these kind of people, from these kind of situations?
So I'll start from the last part where you're making mention of sex trafficking, right? Most of the reasons why, I mean, you see women or young girls end up, you know, in another country where they are forced to do certain things is because most of them, I think we had this conversation with before, where most of them are probably not even educated. They don't know who exactly they are taking them. There's just that, you know, that eagerness to live where they are instead of looking for, you know, possible ways to make money where they are. But there's just that mindset of, oh, if I travel to this country, you show me say I go make money for there. Do you understand? So once we take that mindset off, you see that most people will be okay where they are, and they'll be able to find, you know, better ways of making money. Do you get what I'm saying? Then I think another thing is also, like, I mean, taking it back to, I think the government as well, because trust me, if we had a working government, I don't think this ritual killing would be on the high side. Do you get what I'm saying? There would have been a very good balance between, you know, having to, you know, of course, it's one reason to say we want to keep the culture, we want, you know, the younger generation to know that there's something like this that does exist. But the fact that we are not using it now for the negative things, you know, that's where the problem is. Do you get what I'm saying? So if we had like a working government with the right structure, I'm very sure that there will be a balance between having to keep the culture, having to, you know, safeguard the culture for the younger generation to see, and, you know, another for someone to be using their past to, you know, create all of this ritual, whatever. Then I think another thing, again, personally, would be also to be spiritually inclined. Because if you are, the spirit of discernment, you'll be able to know when somebody wants to do whatever certain things with you, and you know how to cope it. So yeah, that's how I see it.
So you've mentioned so many things. You've mentioned the fact that desperation can push the man into ritual killing and also push
the
woman into fallen victim.
Yeah.
You have also mentioned the fact that a lack of education can cause either parties to assume that these things exist.
Of course.
And
no, but they do. That's the dicey part.
I agree with you that they do, because obviously that's why people are doing it. But you people still tell me why people are doing it, because I don't know if one ritualist is watching this show. So you still tell me. That's why I want the comments to. I want the comments to come in.
Yeah.
Thirdly, you mentioned how law enforcement has to come in place when it comes to these issues. Now, almost every killing is now being tagged as ritual killing. And you hear of the case when it makes headline. After a few days, you don't hear anything about it again. So it brings me to how these issues are handled and prosecuted. Most of the time, I try to follow the story. At some point, you don't see the story anymore. You only have 1, 2, 3 of what. So what do you think? What is the loop in that line that you think that happens between when the person is caught, when the person is supposed to be prosecuted, and justice for the people who have experienced this issue?
So I'll start from the people who has experienced this issue. I think that the government should probably look for better, organizations that can take care of them, because it's a heavy one. You get what it is? Like for you to be on your own and you're hearing story about, oh, your sister had been killed or your brother had been killed. Because if you watch that video where I think the last story you talked about, where that guy that came out, that guy that we all thought he was a Christian, the Christian brother that ended up killing that girl. If you hear like the parents, you hear them complaining, even when they themselves are saying, we thought this guy is a good guy and all of these things. But at the end of the day, see where it leads them to. But imagine we have like a government that just takes those people to a particular place. Yesterday we were talking about, meditation. You just give more like a therapy section, because again, it's something that has to do with, the mindset,
trauma.
Exactly, the trauma, everything. So you have to, just help them out with that part. Now, I feel like one of the reasons why, we hear a story today, and at the end of the day, we don't hear the story. Most of the times, it's probably, again, with the way the court proceedings work, once a particular case is brought to the, to the decks of like the court or something, before that person, is prosecuted or the person, exactly, it takes a while. They keep adjourning the case and adjourning the case and adjourning the case. So, for every time that the case is being adjourned, I don't think there's any, because one thing again with the media, we are, just like you make mention of the clickbait, we are looking for what's exactly like things that are catchy. If it's not catchy, we keep it moving. Everybody already had that mindset of, oh, since this person has been arrested, or of course, he go reach prison. Do you understand? So they just move on to another thing that is happening. Then they somehow leave this one behind. But that doesn't mean that this is not being effective. Do you get what I'm saying? Because, again, we are not going to the court every day, or we are not following the family. It's only the family members that know that, oh, this case is still on, and it keeps going. But the media, of course, they are trying to make money. So whatever that is trending, they pick that up and leave this story behind. So I think that's also one of the reasons why we don't get to, hear of it.
Can I say that there is an issue, or can I identify that there is an issue now with our law and order when it comes to these extreme crimes? Because I feel like murdering somebody is an extreme crime, like to the maximum.
Yes.
Getting to the point where you have to dismember the person is an even extremer crime. And I feel that these cases should not be like, we are adjourning, you are adjourning, we are adjourning, we are adjourning. I think that there should be like a straightforward thing. You are being convicted of this thing, you go straight to death, but you self, you will die. I don't know whether they will dismember you, or maybe we should start having lions in Nigeria so that when those kind of people die, they're going to throw them into lion cage. Let lion chew them and just...
Yeah.
So those are the things I feel like. This adjournment is also like a a way of saying that you are not guilty until I caught you with this thing. You cannot tell me that somebody gave it to you, because you always say that, and the person that stole the thing and the person that was there that when they stole it, both of you are thieves. So saying that I caught this person with this thing and you are now adjourning the case, it's almost like you also want to play some hanky-panky thing too. So I feel like the law enforcement agencies will now make people feel this whole, I'm not so sure that I'm going to get justice, because you see people come on case and still on social media and still say that justice is not being served because the case is now dragging. They now feel like a government body is or a powerful person is involved in the case and all of that stuff. So I feel that one of the things that the government or law can do for us is make sure that if you are caught with dismembered parts of someone else, be it child, be it man, be it woman, for any case of ritual killing, for power, for success, for possession, and the person that you did it for, and the person that you that you claim to be professional, those people should go straight to jail. And from jail, there's no need for you to do 13 years imprisonment. I don't want to see you after 13 years. I just want you to go. You understand what I'm trying to say? Let God, who we all believe in, be in the judge. Because these people will still say that is a certain God that will receive this ritual, right? So let all of them go and meet that God. Let the God praise them and say, welcome, you did great while on earth. So I feel like the law should take this seriously, as the fact that it is increasing and it has become a common thing amongst youths, especially, where they just feel like, yes, I need to make this money as quick as possible. So let me look for one vulnerable. The easiest person to get is a woman. When I fling some little cash and some bit of a transfer and your bag towards her, I'll just get her to trust me enough, and then I do whatever it is that I want to do. I'm calming down. How can we drive awareness? Like, wrapping this up, how can we drive awareness to people who are not aware of how bad the situation is getting? How we can ensure that people are more security conscious? People now double check their relationships with certain people. People can now fact check character. People can now say that, okay, I noticed that this person can be violent in some cases, so I should avoid this person, or I should report this person. Because sometimes the fact that these cases have to get to 20, where they now say he has killed 20 people so far, before they now cut this one, they now say it's the spirit of the last one that he killed. So you are saying that all the other 20, their spirit is not strong, their head is not strong, but they use them successfully. It means that their head is strong enough to be used. So we need to address that fact that they will not say that it's the spirit of one person that now helped him to catch. The moment, before you even get to the point, communities, your neighbor, whatever place, whether be it, because I realize that these people are not necessarily secluded. They live in Face Me, I Slap You. They live in communities. So how can we drive awareness for these people to know that immediately I cite this 1, 2, 3 of this person's character, it means that I can identify, profile this person to be of some form of violent behavior, or has some form of cockroach hidden in his cupboard, or her cupboard, where I can now report to the police or the regulated agency to report such cases to.
To be honest, if I'm to even say anything, I feel like I would just be probably blabbing or anything, because the main thing, it's just important that you're security conscious. That's just the answer to it. Do you understand? Once you are security conscious, there's nothing, that you cannot actually take care of. Because even if you want to, report the person, oh, this person is acting a certain way to the police, you have to, somehow get some evidence to prove that what you are saying is right, for the police to even take you seriously. Do you understand? So being security conscious is just what answers it. Because if you go again to say, oh, the government should do this, the government should do that, it's one thing for the government to be doing their part. Are you doing your part? Do you understand? The uncle that is staying in your compound, have you looked at him very well even before you greet him? How is his character like? What kind of people? The people that he brings into the compound, does he take them out with them? Once you're security conscious, it just helps a lot. So, yeah.
Sweetie, thank you for this morning. I don't think that I would have been able to manage this conversation without you. And to our audiences, thank you for joining in this critical and important conversation. I hope that women, children, men, the general public now knows that there is a rise in ritual menace. Please keep watch for yourself. Join us tomorrow as we have another conversation that you should watch out for. Do ensure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Hello, you. Yes, you. This is Usayome Sale from Ways Prime Time. Now, we appreciate your continued support for watching our content, following us across all our social media. But we've noticed, for those of you watching us on YouTube, 88.5% of you who watch our content aren't subscribed to our channel. Why? Now, if you are enjoying our content, you enjoy our shows, and you want to stay updated on all things Ways, it's time to hit that subscribe button below. Now, subscribing isn't just for you. It's for the growth of our channel. It helps us get bigger and better. With your support, we can continue to bring even more intriguing and exciting content. How about you subscribing right now and being a part of our community?